Next.js is a framework for building server-rendered ReactJS applications. It's a minimalist framework, however, it provides users with out-of-the-box code splitting, route prefetching, and more, all from within a server-rendered environment. In this video, we're going to see just how quickly Next.js makes the process of getting started. The first thing we're going to need to do is add Next along with React and React DOM to our project by installing them through npm. Once that's done installing, we'll be all ready to begin. Next.js is going to look for a pages folder inside of our root directory. This pages directory is going to hold all of the routes for our application. If we so pleased, we could create a custom server using the framework of our choice, like Express.js or Happy, but we're going to utilize the server that Next comes pre-configured with. By adding an index.js file, we're telling Next that we want this file to hold the code for our index route. Now inside here, I'm just going to create a stateless functional component that renders some text from a title prop. I do want to point out that we could use React's internal component class, and that would work just fine. However, I prefer using stateless functional components. Once that's completed, we just need to make sure that we export our component, and we'll be all ready to go. Well, almost. We first need to modify the scripts object inside of our package.json file. Inside here, I'm just going to create this script named dev and set it to the next command. If we navigate to our terminal and execute this npm run dev command, we'll see that Next will kick off our development server. Once everything is compiled, we'll be able to visit localhost 3000 and see our index route. Furthermore, we see this title prop that we just set inside our functional stateless component being rendered to the page. Pretty cool, right? We just learned that the pages directory acts as our file system. Before we finish up, let's see this in action a bit more. By adding an aboutme.js file, we tell Next that we want this code to be loaded when a user visits the about-me route. Inside here, I'm just going to add a bit of code that is pretty much the same as our index route. However, it's rendering slightly different text to signify that it's the about-me route. Once that's all set up, we just need to make sure that we export our component, and we'll be ready to go. Now, if we navigate to localhost port 3000 and add the about-me to our URL, we'll see that Next.js is working correctly and rendering the code that we just implemented. Now, although this is super basic, it just shows how easy it is to get started with Next.js. With just a few lines of code, we were able to begin running a server-rendered ReactJS application. All the while, Next.js is ready to perform tasks such as code splitting behind the scenes. And that just about wraps up this video. Until next time, I encourage you to check out the GitHub repository for this project to really get a feel for a lot of the awesome features that Next.js provides users with.